Country presentation. Working abroad in Argentina. Traveling is a brutality. It forces you to trust strangers and to lose sight of all that familiar comfort of home and friends. You are constantly off balance. Nothing is yours except the essential things: air, sleep, dreams, the sea, the sky, all things tending towards the eternal, or what we imagine of it. Working abroad can be an enriching and life changing experience. It is an opportunity to pad our resume, learn a new culture, and even discover ourselves. As a new manager in a foreign country, it is imperative to understand what behaviors and convention make that culture tick if we want to maintain harmony within our organization. These behaviors and conventions span from things as simple as how do we greet each other in the morning, all the way down to what topic of conversations to steer clear from. This may sound tedious and downright pedantic at first, but remember that we had to learn our very own culture at some point in our life. The intent of this presentation is to give a Canadian manager tools and insights to strive in an Argentinian culture. We will discuss how to address someone, table manners and eating habits and etiquette, the people's relationship with the English language, and finally, subjects of a conversation to steer clear from. How to greet and address someone. In the Spanish language, when we want to address a senior or someone of higher stature, we refer to them as señor for sir or señora for Mrs. When greeting someone, it is customary to give 2 kisses on the cheeks. Argentinians are a very passionate and tremendously honest people. They do not like to waste time with political correctness. They talk openly and do not shy away from profanity. No subject is taboo. With this in mind, do not be surprised if your boss tells you to cut the charade and refer to him by his first name instead of señor. Your employees or peers will refer to you or themselves as their physical attributes. For example, if you are a bit overweight, they may call you che gordo, regardless of your gender. The che is a term that roughly means yo in English. If you have darker complexion, che negro. If you are very thin, che flaco, and so on. Table manners, eating habits, and etiquette. Argentinians are very open and social people. As such, don't be alarmed when one of your coworkers or employee invites you over for mate. The mate is an herb served in a decorated gourd with hot water and sugar, depending on your taste, and is drunk through a metal straw. It is a social drink that is passed around in a circle. Being invited for mate means you are being accepted and they want to know you better. Employees will often carry their mate in small thermos with them in the office. This is very common. When going for lunch or dinner, avoid bringing up business matters. We want to enjoy your food. You must wait until everyone at the table is served before digging in. When eating at home, the host will often serve each plate one by one before filling up his own. The host will also sit at the head of the table. If you need something, such as the salt or a drink refill, simply inform the person next to you and they will most likely fill your glass for you. It is considered bad form to leave the table when others are still eating. When everyone's plate is empty, simply pass them to the host and he or she will pile the dishes up for washing. Argentinians like to stay seated at the table even if there is no food to make small talk and discuss everybody's day. Remember, no business talk. When eating at a restaurant, everyone contributes to the bill, regardless of how much his or her meal cost. The bill is split evenly and everyone pitches in. At home, you may offer to lend a hand with the dishwashing, but don't be surprised if they don't take you up on the offer. For dessert, Argentinians like to have a fruit with some dulce de leche. This is basically boiled milk with some sugar that results in a sweet caramel-like substance. It is important that you get accustomed to it because they put it in everything from ice cream to even their mate. The people's relationship with the English language. Your Argentinian employees may all speak perfect English, but they will very often revert back to their native language, Spanish. This is not out of spite or hatred for the English language. It's just what they are more comfortable with. understandably so. Compared to Spanish, English is very poor in its vocabulary. Spanish provide them with a more sophisticated tool to paint you an intricate image with their words. Remember, they are very passionate people, and passionate people do not like to feel restricted. In the paper reports and such, everything may be written in English. However, at the water coolers and intra-office chat, everything is in Spanish. It is very important for you as a manager to at least speak it very basically. It makes the employees see that you're making an effort to understand them, and furthermore, language gives you an insight into those cultural nuances that no textbook can teach you. Football or soccer. It is a very big deal for them. Every child grows up in a family that likes a specific team. This team becomes tied into that family's identity, and consequently, that child's identity. To tell a fan of one team that you don't support their team but rather another is like saying that you reject their identity. Liking another team is a serious offense. During match days, streets are separated by team affiliation by the anti-gang unit because the level of commitment to a specific team is that high. Avoid the subject completely. If your employees ask what team you favor, simply tell them that you are not familiar enough with the local championship to make an informed decision. Also, mention that you love Argentinian national team or any other team except the Brazil team. Calling yourself American or North American. Our neighbors to the south refer to themselves as American due to language limitation. But do not make that mistake in Argentina. In Argentina, you are estadounidense or canadiense, not American. Argentinians are taught in school that North America and South America is one continent known as America, named after the Italian explorer Amerigo Vespucci. To call yourself American or North American to them is a slap to the face. They see it as a deliberate distinction and denial that you live on the same landmass. When asked, refer to yourself as Canadian or estadounidense. Politics. It is always a wise idea to steer clear of politics. Nowhere does this ring more true than in Argentina. Argentina has had a tumultuous political history with a record number of over 52 presidents since its creation. During the various dictatorial regimes, thousands of people were imprisoned and killed under political pretenses. These were Argentinian family members, fathers, uncles, mothers, brothers, etc. This history has left a profound scar on the Argentinian psyche. Therefore, your political affiliation is not something that your employee may take lightly. When asked, simply say that you do not know enough about the political platforms to make an informed decision. Falklands or Malvinas. In the same political vein, avoid talking about the Falkland Islands or Malvina, as they say. These islands were lost to England during the last century, and the Argentinians never forgot. Some consider the Falklands rightfully British, and others consider them Argentinian. Avoid this subject at all costs, as it has a very polarizing effect on the people. Now to summarize what we have learned here today. Use señor or señora when addressing a superior. Argentinian employees are very direct and blunt. When at the table, avoid business talk. Do not start eating before everyone else is served. It is good etiquette to stay at the table until everyone else is done eating. Everyone splits the bill and everyone contributes. Employees may hand in documents in English, but will speak Spanish in everyday business dealings out of convenience. Subjects to avoid are football, politics, Falkland Islands, and calling yourself American or North American.